This is CNN Breaking News.
From the whole of the greatest newscasters of Valenzuela, serving you the hottest and latest news. This is CNN Philippines. Let your voice be heard. Magandang araw, Pilipinas! We are live today. And now, for the headlines. Media literacy and emerging skills in 21st century education. Aspects and dimensions of meal. Advantages and disadvantages of meal. All this will exclusively and comprehensively discuss only here in CNN Philippines. What is media literacy all about? Based on Lynch coined the term media, which refers to all electronic or digital means and or artistic visuals that were utilized to transmit messages via reading or print media, seeing or visual media, hearing or audio media, or changing and playing with or interactive media, or some combinations of each. So Firestone said that media literacy is the capability to access, examine, assess, and produce media, and it supports students to generate and inform understanding of the nature of mass media, the techniques employed, and their impact. Now we know the definition of it, let's proceed to the aspects of media literacy. Media literacy is the optimal outcome of media information and communication technology. Education along with the three aspects. First, technical skills that are entangled to access, use technical devices that present media and information content. Second, critical attitudes elevate observation, interpretation of the media content, and being critical of the effect of media. Last, facts about media and ICT. Highlight media consumers in determining news and learning about media's role in reshaping global matters. This is Ralph Cervantes for CNN Philippines. Let your voice be heard.
Thank you, Ralph. Here, we are going to dig deeper into the proposed dimensions given by Shapiro and Hages 1996, and they are the following. For our first dimension, tool literacy, it is defined as the ability to understand and use practical and conceptual tools of current information technology. Our next dimension is the resource literacy, ability to understand the form, format, location, and access methods of information and resources. When we are locating information resources, it is indeed essential to always keep in mind how to be credible, how to be specific, and free from complaint and charges. This is Marlon C. Binaventura for CNN Philippines. Let your voice be heard.
Thank you, Marlon. And now for the third dimension, we have the social structural literacy, which focuses on the knowledge and understanding of how scholarly information is being socially constructed, processed, and produced. Next is the research literacy, the knowledge of using and maximizing the use of technology as a tool to help the researchers and scholars to fulfill their research-based workloads. This is Clarissa Chua for CNN Philippines. Let your voice be heard.
Yes, Clarissa. The fifth dimension is the publishing literacy, which is the ability to format and publish not only the research but also the ideas by using electronic devices in textual and multimedia forms, which is very relevant nowadays. Next, we have the emerging technology literacy. This literacy, on the other hand, is the ability to understand and evaluate what is new in emerging information and being able to adapt it to be literate in terms of technology. Is critical literacy, which is about being able to evaluate the human and social strengths and weaknesses, limits and potentials, and even the benefits and costs of IT. It is being able to know what the pros and cons is of using IT and how it will help us in our lives. This is Micah Kundangan for CNN Philippines. Let your voice be heard.
Thank you, Micah. And now for the advantages of media literacy. Media and information help in a way that it gives us something that makes us informed every day. Through this, we can avoid disturbing disinformation and misinformation. It helps us exercise our critical way of thinking. Aside from the knowledge that we are getting from it, we are also being exposed to this what we call diversity, learning and embracing differences. Together with this is the good thought of being entertained and informed at the same time. To conclude, Media is really an effective tool in making us educated and informed. It can be integrated by being a wise consumer and producer of our very own information. This is Rhea De Leon for CNN Philippines. Let your voice be heard.
Thank you, Raylene. And now for the disadvantages of media literacy. First, we have the individualism. People spend an excessive amount of time on the internet watching or binging content, and as a result, their relationship with friends or family may be affected. Second, the difficulty to access. Some media topics are unsuitable for children and elderly. We also have the fraudulence and cybercrime. This is where the internet opens avenues for imposters, criminals, and hackers with the possibility to commit criminal acts without any knowledge of the victims. Fourth, addiction. Some television programs and internet media can be very addictive to most children and adults, leading to a drop in productivity. Fifth, health concerns. Because prolonged television watching or internet binging can lead to vision and hearing problems. 6. Faulty advertisement tactics. It often makes the use of drugs and alcohol appear cool, which can be harmful to the nation. 7th, personal injury. Some people decide to try the stunts that have been showcased in the media, which leads to severe injuries. And lastly, we have malware and fake profiles. An individual can create an anonymous account and pretends to be someone else. So this is Shania Camille Borja for CNN Philippines. Let your voice be heard.
Thank you so much, our esteemed newscasters. In lieu of overall updates, I am delighted to present to you an in-depth understanding of MIL. In this part, we're going to highlight and emphasize that media literacy has become one of the many 21st century trends that emerges as a very critical and important skill that students and might as well teachers should garner and develop in the course of the teaching-learning process, as it can help these individuals embrace themselves with multiple advantages toward the fast-changing world. Moreover, in a brief manner, we can conclude that media literacy can be integrated and evaluated efficiently by observing the following points. First is based on the student understanding of the basic and key concepts of media literacy. Second is based on the depth and quality of students' background of the revolving issues and questions in need of examination. Third is based on how well the student applies the concepts and technical skills associated with the medium the information is being presented on. This scraps an impression of how students can stay significant with all the information they encounter, the different medium this particular information is present on. So becoming and acquiring literacy towards each kind of media containing information and messages existing should be seen as highly important and influential to progressive and developing individuals, especially the students. And that's it for the top and hottest newscast for today. Thank you for keeping updated with us. I am Austin Cruz and this is CNN Philippines. Let your voice be heard.